Regarding the environment and the ethical development issue, we think there are many questions need to be asked to ensure that our action will have not a negative effect on the environment and the ethical development. The first question we need to ask is, what impact will our action have on the environment? As a manufacturer of cold chain packaging and logistic service provider, we need to try our best to minimize the negative on the environment, such as we need to reduce the waste and pollution, and also need to utilizing the renewable energy and saving energy. And the second question we need to ask is, how does our products have the impact on the environment? When we're designing and producing our cold chain packaging for pharmaceutical, yes, the first thing we consider is to protect the environment, such as we will supply the most suitable solution for our clients and resist excessive packaging, and also we will introduce our renewable reusable packaging for our client, which is environmental friendly, energy efficient, and can help protect the environment. And thirdly, the question we need to ask is, how can we cooperate with other industry partners? Yes, we need to cooperate with other industry partners, which we will make sure their action also have a positive impact on the environment and the ethical development. We think attending the Pharma Asia event is a good choice for us to cooperate with each other and can promote the sustainable development together. When we design the cold chain packaging for our pharmaceutical customers, there are 5 important factors to be considered, such as the environmental protection issue to ensure the sustainable development, and to the precise control for temperature range, and the service duration to make sure the safety and quality of the medical item, and the easy operation. Also need to consider the weight of our products to decrease the weight to help our client save the shipping cost. And we have shown many professional cold chain packaging at our stand number 12. Welcome to visit us and have a small talk face to face.
I trust all of us, or maybe you're not aware, that 60% of the energy consumption is actually from the thermal application in the world. So what do we do as a company? We embrace what we call the ESG, which is a common topic. ESG stands for environment, social, and governance. How do we go about doing that? Our product basically 2 key contexts. One of the contexts, of course, we develop our own advanced vacuum insulation pack. And then the other product is the phase change material. Now, on the context of this, we actually help our customer to save thermal energy through active contribution to the climate production. So in terms of environment, all right, our company has been awarded as an industrial supplier to save energy, right, since 2020. Now, and the other context is our product is a long life cycle, and recycling of the material we use to make sure that the resource are efficiently created a platform for our customers. Now, and of course, the company have pledged on year 7% of emission reduction in our application, our production. And of course, the sustainability, the company has developed also our own sustainability report since 2022, and the new report will be in 2023. Now, in terms of social responsibility, we work with our partners to ensure that the logistics are secured and compliant to the local regulation. Now, on top of that, of course, we also help in the context like, for example, working with NGOs, a non-government organization, on, for example, creating vaccine centers, attending sports centers, for example, and giving this kind of support to the social context. Now, on the governance perspective, that we work with our partners to ensure that our products are secure always, and then making sure that we always comply to all the regulation respective regulation. In terms of IT, of course, we have to make sure that our IT is security and is always up to speed, and making sure that our colleagues are always been trained to make sure that they know what to do.
Well, we all know that there is the climate change, and we all have a global awareness of this situation, which leads to definitely to more need of sustainability in our way of practicing the business. At Emball'iso, the aim is to definitely propose performing solutions all over the world with sustainable materials, but not only. To provide a sustainable supply chain, we definitely aim to be more local, even though we are a global company, providing factories, manufacturing plants in every region of the world in order to shorten the deliveries, to shorten the production, to reduce the carbon footprint of our production. But not only, because in our solutions, not only providing packaging, we are also implementing the reverse logistics, which means and leads to wherever you send a packaging coming from Emball'iso, we aim to collect it back for reusing it and to again reduce the footprint, the carbon footprint of our product and supply. Regarding the progress and the change, well, definitely we aim to keep a high standard level of performing material products with sustainable products, more and more insulating, but definitely it goes through the organization as well, where we want to implement more and more local services, refurbishment centers to allow this reuse and to avoid the unbalanced flows that we face in the world. This is why we opened a new service center in Vietnam, opened a branch in Australia, and have our manufacturing plant in India, in Singapore and China. Every pharma companies are definitely having different needs, different expectations, depending on the organization, their lanes and so on. Emball'iso is aiming to reply globally to individual needs. Of course, performance, reliability is in the heart, but not only, sustainability. So in designing, what we aim is to improve is definitely the performance of the insulation using sustainable materials, making an ease of use for the operations, for refurbishment, as we aim to reuse our packaging. And the aim is to give a global solution to the total cost ownership of the packaging, because at the end, the packaging is not only providing a material from a place to another, to provide an end of life, and to avoid the waste management. When the packaging comes at the end, we need to collect it back instead of destroying it. And therefore, this is where Emball'iso is providing a global solution to all of its partners.
In terms of environment and ethical developments, the primary question is, first, is the leadership having the vision, the long-term thinking of how sustainability matters? Because patients are also thinking about, especially post-COVID, how are businesses functioning and what are the kind of choices that they are making that will impact their own purchases. So while there are scope 1 and scope 2 emissions, which are primarily with the responsibilities within the fence, within the organization, there is also scope 3, how the kind of vendors that you're talking about, the kind of partners, the suppliers that are associated with your organization. So we are also looking at them and saying that we will become more sustainably focused, and this comes from top down, where the leadership sets a vision and the rest of the company follows. So I think that's a primary question to ask.
We observe a different type of concerns from the industry in terms of sustainability. Typically, one of the most visible example of waste, of inefficiencies which all relate to sustainability, is the use of physical resources, and especially the generation of waste. And one of the number one items which is of interest is the use of packaging within the industry, both in terms of how they receive goods and how they send goods out there to the client. So we have seen a huge interest from the industry to improve on the packaging, both driven by internal and corporate targets, as well as regulatory changes. Now, the number one change that industry faces as a whole is the ability to coordinate the different stakeholders from the upstream and downstream supply chain in order to have a solution which is the most appropriate for the goods that they transport, in this case, healthcare. As a consultant, we are being called by the industry and by the management team usually to conduct audits and to advise the industry on how they can perform. We will conduct an audit, we will make recommendations, but what we observed is in many cases the operational aspects will be the main barrier for change. And if there was one recommendation I would give to the industry is to invest in training and awareness throughout the entire value chain and the entire organization. The reality is, if you are able to get your operational team on board to understand why change needs to happen, to understand why and how you can create value for the organization, you can already massively improve the ability from the industry and from the company as a whole to change, to adopt change, and to actually suggest better change in the future.
For our manufacturer of cold chain packaging and also the logistics service provider, we think the first benefit to attend the Pharma Asia is to let our clients know our Beijing CIMC group, brand and service. We can have a small talk together face to face, easy to get their requirement and help us to supply the most suitable solution for them. And secondly, we can get the latest updates for the pharmaceutical and the logistic industry. This way can help us to maintain the competitive of our company and also can help us make better business decisions.
Pharma is a great event. Of course, it provide all the practitioners a platform to do exchanges, right? To share best practices. I think, of course, this is an event that everybody will sought for, and we want to come and, of course, share our experiences as well.
Well, first of all, Emball'iso has been a long life partner with Pharma. We have been participating to Pharma in France, Pharma in Singapore, Pharma in Boston very soon. So if we continue to be a strong partner to Pharma, it's because we have the ability to meet our customers, to meet the right delegates, the right people at the right place, at the right function, and which is key and fruitful for us to entertain this long-term relationship that we have with the pharma industry.
So being a part of Pharma Asia, I think is a very quick networking for me. There are lots of interesting businesses, interesting people, interesting conversations. There is a lot of learning that's been happening, and I look forward to all the takeaways from here.
Probably what I found most valuable is how you are able to connect both service providers, in this case like packaging manufacturers or logistic companies, as well with companies who actually need those solutions. So the ability to bring those things, as well as bring additional stakeholders to suggest new ideas or to suggest new perspective, can be a very good ground for new change.